Welcome back to Universal Insight. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Why are there not more people talking about Moldova's historic decision? On September 26, 2025, Moldova's parliament made history. Lawmakers voted to withdraw from the Commonwealth of Independent States, severing the last formal ties to Moscow. This was more than a legislative act. It was a declaration of independence, a bold step toward Europe. The decision capped years of struggle and a growing desire to escape Russia's shadow. The war in Ukraine made the threat of Russian aggression real, forcing Moldova to choose, remain a pawn, or join the family of European democracies. Moldova chose Europe decisively. President Maia Sandu, the architect of this pivot, made clear this was not about rejecting Russians, but about breaking free from imperial coercion. The move was necessary for national security and a prerequisite for EU membership. The last institutional chains to Moscow were broken. Across Moldova, the vote was felt as the end of a painful chapter and the start of a new era. The CIS had become a relic, offering no protection and only prolonging Moldova's dependence. Now Moldova stood tall, ready to chart its own course. The world watched as a small nation claimed its sovereignty. The international community took note, recognizing the significance of Moldova's bold move. A new era had begun, one of promise and of peril. Moldova's journey towards a brighter future had just started, filled with both opportunities and challenges. For decades, Russia used every tool: political manipulation, energy blackmail, and the frozen conflict in Transnistria, to keep Moldova in its orbit. The Kremlin's influence was pervasive, affecting every aspect of Moldovan life and politics. The CIS, meant to manage post-Soviet transitions, became a mechanism for Russian control. Instead of fostering cooperation, it served as a leash, keeping former Soviet states in line. The war in Ukraine made the threat immediate. Russian troops in Transnistria became a looming danger. The conflict underscored the precariousness of Moldova's position. Moldova's pivot to Europe was no rash move, but a response to years of intimidation and the urgent need for security. The decision was a strategic shift towards stability and prosperity. Each Kremlin-backed protest and gas price spike only strengthened Moldova's resolve. The hardships faced by the people fueled their determination to break free from Russian influence. The CIS withdrawal was the logical end to a long process of disillusionment. It marked a definitive step away from the shadows of the Kremlin. Moldova's future now lay with the European Union, not authoritarian alliances. The nation looked forward to a new chapter of freedom and integration with Europe. President Maia Sandu's fight for a European Moldova was built on a hard-won democratic mandate. Despite Russian interference and disinformation, Sandu and her party secured victory in fiercely contested elections. Pro-Russian factions, led by exiled oligarch Ilan Shor, continue to stoke fears and blame the government for economic woes engineered by Moscow. The battle for Moldova's future is not just with Russia, but within its own borders. The government must prove that Europe offers more prosperity and security than the past. The mandate is clear, but the struggle for hearts and minds continues. Moscow's response was swift and hostile, branding Moldova's move as a Western plot. The Kremlin's real weapon is Ilan Shor, a fugitive oligarch orchestrating protests and propaganda from Moscow. Shor's network, funded through complex financial schemes, aims to destabilize Moldova and erode trust in its institutions. Russia's strategy: if it can't control Moldova, it will try to make it ungovernable. The stakes are high. A successful democratic Moldova would challenge Putin's model across the region. The battle is as much about Moldova's future as it is about the Kremlin's fear of losing influence. Moldova's break from Russia hinged on energy independence. For years, Gazprom's gas was Moscow's main lever of control. Since 2022, Moldova has diversified its energy sources, relying on European markets and support from Romania and Ukraine. Western aid helped cushion the economic blow, but challenges remain, especially with Transnistria still receiving free Russian gas. The region's power plant supplies much of Moldova's electricity, complicating a full break. Moldova's energy pivot is a work in progress, but it's a vital step toward true sovereignty. The legacy of Russian influence lingers, but the direction is set. Moldova's break with Russia is more than a policy shift. It marks the birth of a new national identity, forged through courage and hope. For decades, Moldovans have lived in the shadow of Moscow, but now, they are charting their own course, determined to shape their own destiny. The country has chosen democracy and Europe over authoritarianism and the weight of the past, embracing the promise of freedom, opportunity, and a brighter future for the next generation. Moldova's example sends a powerful message to other post-Soviet states. Independence from Moscow is not only possible, but achievable through unity and determination. The government must now accelerate reforms, fight corruption at every level, and work tirelessly to unify a society that has long been divided by history and politics. Western support, both political and economic, remains absolutely crucial for Moldova's transformation and its journey toward lasting stability and prosperity. The historic vote to leave the CIS was not the end, but the beginning of a bold new chapter in Moldova's story, filled with hope and ambition. Moldova's destiny will now be decided in Chisinau and Brussels, not in Moscow, as the nation looks westward for its future. The nation has stepped into the light of a sovereign European future, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.